Hello there and welcome back to Antiques Hunter. Over the years we've been incredibly lucky to combine a hobby with something that can make us some money on the side, and in our other videos you'll have seen that we've bought and sold and researched all sorts of items from the antiques and collectibles world. However, once in a while we make an error, we make a mistake, we end up buying what's commonly known as a fake item. Providing the money outlay isn't too bad, I don't mind too much. Often I learn more by discovering why a fake is a fake or why it's not the real thing, and I can then use that information, I can use that knowledge in the field. So what we're going to do today is go to our gallery of shame and dig out some items that I've bought over the last couple of years that I thought were one thing but turned out to be something else entirely. So on my right, your left, the first item is what appears to be a military bugle. I picked this up at a large antiques fair very early on. It wasn't even light properly. Grabbed it. This cost me £10. As it happens, I'll get my money back. It turns out it's not what I thought it was at first. It's not an original World War I or 1920s military bugle. It's just a reproduction. So, you know, fakes and reproductions, it's a thin line. You could argue this was designed not to deceive, but to be good to look at, but I certainly bought it, and the guy who sold it to me as a military bugle. I've since done lots of research and learnt that there should be serial numbers down here, there should be regimental numbers. It's a nice piece for £10, you can't really argue. That's going into our shop, and I'm sure I'll see my money back, maybe a bit more, as you can see from the price tag there, maybe, if I'm really lucky. So that's sort of on that thin line between reproduction and fake. Now let's move on to the real fakeries. First up on the real fakes here is a coin bought from a nice guy, decent dealer, with a number of other silver coins. I thought I'd pick myself up a cheap 5 peso silver coin, 900 silver. Didn't feel right in the hand, and when I weighed it at home, way under. Let's do a quick ping test just to show how bad I was. I've learned since buying this a few years back to really get used to the weight of a crown and a silver dollar in my hand, and that's a classic case of a coin that's probably copper in its core and just coated in some other metal. Absolute fake, not worth a penny really. Next up, autographs. Again, I've had some real luck with autographs over the years. This particular signed photograph, Gene Kelly's image, is on a genuine old-fashioned postcard. It all looks good. It is hand signed. I've looked at it under a glass, and it did come from a dealer who I've got several other cracking lots from, signed at various times, as Sean Connery, and he was selling all his autographs that day at £10 each. This was the one though that when I did my research, and it's always the research that pays off, I found out I unfortunately don't have a genuine Gene Kelly here. I think, having done a bit of research, this has been signed genuinely but by a secretary or an assistant. Have a look for yourselves and you'll see that Gene Kelly just never signed quite like that. I'd love to think it's real, but I'm 90% certain, having had it for a year or so now, that this is a fake, a secretary's signature or something similar. And finally, in our gallery of fakes today, this one here. I fell in love with this when I saw it. It's, well, I thought I was buying an old Roman or possibly Greek oil lamp. It really is a great fake. It's got fantastic age and wear to the stone there, to the ceramic. It's got the holes for the wicks to go in. It even appears to be a bit burnt in certain places, and I was really excited by this. I paid a tenner for it. Started to become suspicious though when I looked at various Roman oil lamp sites, and the face just seemed too fanciful. If you do some research yourselves, you'll see that original oil lamps are much simpler. They very rarely have this many features going on, and that's a classic thing that fakers often do. They almost overload the fake with features in order to try and make it a nice piece. I suspect it's probably a genuine fake in terms of it was sold as a tourist piece. An archaeology site I contacted said these were produced in their hundreds in the 60s and 70s, so probably innocently came back from somebody's holiday, ended up in an antiques fair, and yours truly was fooled. But there we go, another piece to learn by. So we hope that was useful, a real gallery of fakes. You know, I learn by my mistakes, I'm constantly making them, but I always feel if I learned something through the research, then it was well worth a few pounds. So do please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and our book, How to Make a Serious Second Income Buying and Selling Collectibles, still available on the link down below. Do come back. It's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from him, and we'll see you soon.